Hello, welcome to my plant walk. I'm going to be talking about the geraniums. The one in my newsletter, the first one is called Geranium maculatum, and that is the wild geranium. And that is, as you see pictured in the newsletter, I don't have that growing in my place, but it has the 1-inch flowers, the bigger 1-inch flowers, and the bigger leaves, 5 to 7 lobes. Now, what I do have here, and these are all have very similar benefits. This is Carolina cranesbill. This is also another geranium. And if you look at the flowers, they are tiny, whitish pink flowers. And the leaves, they're smaller leaves than the wild geranium. But they are very similar looking. They also have, these have 5 lobes, and you can see they're deeply toothed and pointy at the ends. And okay, I wanted to show you that the doctrine of signatures, which I'm a believer in, gives us clues as to the benefits of the plant. And you can see how it's reddish stems, but mainly it's reddish in the joints. And that is a symbol for one of the benefits, which it's been used successfully from past herbalists for inflammation and swelling and pain in the joints. You can use that as a poultice. The other thing about the Carolina geranium is it is good for, it's an astringent like all the geraniums. So things like diarrhea, things like you could chop up the leaves and put it on top of a wound. It's aseptic to control the bleeding. You can make it in a tea. You would chop up the leaves and flowers. You could put like a teaspoon and make a cup of tea, and drink that to help with sore throat, with diarrhea, with anything that you want to kind of reduce the flow of liquids. And the other geranium I wanted to show, which I have growing here, is, if I can show it, yeah, it's over, where did it go? It is over here. Okay, let's look down here. Okay, so down here, we've got the dove's foot geranium. And this was used by the old herbalist Culpeper for wind colic. I have used this with great success for irritable bowel syndrome. I used the root. And so what you would do is, the whole plant is medicinal. You could put a teaspoon of the dried herb in a tea. You can also, I use the root. The root is more medicinal, stronger. You can make a tea with the root. And the other thing for geraniums is you can make a foot bath. Supposedly, the geranium plant is high in geranium is high in germanium. I think I'm saying that correctly, which is a trace mineral that is really, really good to help protect against electromagnetic frequencies, radiation. It stimulates, it has it's an oxygen carrier, so it oxygenates the blood. It also stimulates electrical impulses in the cells, which are extremely healing. And I cannot remember who, but there was a herbalist who would chop up or you can use it dried. You can dry the tops and make a handful. I have this in my newsletter. Put it in some boiling water to extract the medicinal properties, and then of course add cold water. I let it steep a few minutes, and then you can add the cold water and soak your feet, which I have that in the newsletter. to help do that daily if you feel like you're being affected by electromagnetic impulses. Let me come over here and we will show the, this is yarrow. This is another plant which is really great for bleeding emergencies. And this plant is, as you can see, it's got like these, go in closer there, dense flat top clusters of white. Sometimes it's pink, tiny little flower heads. So it's like a flat top. And if you look at the leaves down here, you will notice that they're finely dissected, fern-like leaves. And it's spirally all along the stem here. So they're pretty distinct. The leaves can get real close-ups here. And now's a good time to find these flowers here. The other thing is, now's the time you want to harvest it because it's the most medicinal when it is flowering. And you got to be very careful. This is very sensitive, this plant. Do not steep it longer than, according to one herbalist, 13 minutes. You don't want to steep it longer than that. You don't want to boil it. You want to pour boiling water over the flowers. You can have a cup of tea 1 to 3 times a day. In chronic situations, you can do a tincture. And I'm going to do another video on how I make tinctures. And actually, yeah, I'm going to do that next so that you guys can see how I'm going to actually, when I actually process this plant. You can make into a tincture, 1 to 3 drops, 1 to 3 times a day, according to Matt Woods. And this is a really great plant for, this is a really good plant for, there we go over here, we can film the plant. This is a really good plant for head injuries and for like a violent nature, like strokes. It helps deal with the congestion in the head. As I said, trauma, to head trauma, that this would be a really good plant for. And the next thing, if you follow me, here we have shepherd's purse. And the reason why they call it shepherd's purse is because these little tiny seed pods are shaped like little purses that they used to carry in the medieval times. It's got tiny white flowers. As you can see, it's in bloom now. Now is the time you want to harvest it, and I'm going to show in my tincture making video how to do that. And so, yes, it's shepherd's purse. Shepherd's purse is another bleeding remedy. This would be good for, like, it's more of specific for dark red oozing blood, and it is very good for women issues. It is it increases circulation, and it is good for increasing the circulation to kind of dissipate the blood to help your body remove it on its own. Okay, thank you very much. If you have any questions, please post them. Thank you for watching my video.